couple of cool things happened this past weekend.
Before we get into that, I like the fact that I made these slides that say "We'll be right back," and people still come in here going, "What's going on? Is the show over?
Yes.
What's going on? Why don't I hear anything? We'll be right."
I know.
Look here, look. We'll be right back. It's just right there. So yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, so a couple of things happened. One in San Diego and one over in Hong Kong.
That's right. San Diego, at the San Diego Comic-Con, there was a Capcom Pro Tour ranking event there that took place. And I noticed that there was apparently a lot of San Diego players there for obvious reasons. But a lot of players went down to Comic-Con, played, and it's part of the Capcom Pro Tour. It was streamed by Capcom Fighters, and had some pretty strong players in there, so as you can see by the results.
So the results, top 8, just start at the top here. Snake Eyes won the whole thing with Zangief.
Yep.
Justin Wong got second place with Rufus. Chris G got third place with Dan, Sakura, Elena, Yang.
I never saw him use Dan.
You didn't see him use Dan?
Yeah.
Dan's better than Elena, so.
You really think so?
I don't think she's very good.
Wow, okay.
Anyway.
Don't tell me that, because that tempts me to play her now. Like, I don't think she's bad, you know.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to do it.
I even posted something like that on Twitter, and Chris G, I didn't even add him in it. He just responded to it, and he was like, yeah. She sucks. And then Justin responded to it, and he was like, well, her slide is good. And we were like, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, K-Brad got 4th place with Cammy. Vicious from SoCal got 5th place.
Nice.
With Yun and Rufus. Chris King tied with him with Vega. TJ Alexis with Sea Viper, 7th place. And also in 7th place was SD Pinoy with Sagat and Bison.
Nice. Okay.
Just outside of that, Ilya with Akuma Kami, Johnny Park Chun-Li, Just Joe with Hakan Guile, TJ Oscar Hawk Evil, Sammy Ken, Killy, Sea Viper, Gepeo, or maybe Japeo, I'm not sure, with Jury, and then Flo.
Yeah, I actually saw Just Joe with Hakan against K-Brad's Cammy.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
So close.
It was very close.
It was so close. Just Joe. Apparently, a lot of the San Diego players, apparently he has a reputation for this. He just doesn't block. So, like, every time he got knocked down by Cammy, he would die. But if he didn't get knocked down, he was totally winning.
That's too
bad.
bad.
The whole entire time. But he just ate, like, 4 dive kicks to the face, like, after he got knocked down. And someone was like, just block! And then I saw, like, I think it was Viscant on Twitter. It was like, now you guys know what we've been yelling at him for years, or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did see him against, I think, a Jury player. And he played great as Hakan, but it was the same thing. It's interesting to see the same kind of info, but it was pretty clear that he lost because he wasn't blocking, and then he switched to Guile, and Guile wasn't the problem.
Right.
Anyway, that'd be great to see him do better because he had a lot of good stuff with Hakan. Other than that,
yeah, probably. I mean, I'm still waiting for that one Hakan player who's just gonna all of a sudden come up and destroy everybody, because I just think he's such a good character.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So, did you get to watch any of this?
Yes, I actually watched some of the top 8.
Okay.
More towards the latter half. So I actually saw winners finals, Justin versus Zangief. And Snake Eyes actually won that one pretty soundly.
Did he?
Yeah, he won pretty soundly. Justin got sent to losers, and then he fought against Chris G. He beat Chris G down there, came back in the winners finals, and then it was closer, I think, but I don't think Justin reset the bracket.
He did not. It was 3-2 Snake Eyes.
It was 3-2 Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes, I mean, he just looked as solid as ever, and Zangief looks really, really good. I mean, Zangief-Rufus was a bad match for Rufus from the start, right?
Interestingly, I talked with Snake at EVO about it, and he thinks that Rufus wins.
Even before Ultra?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's not something I necessarily agree with, but that's certainly interesting to get his point of view on that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, keep in mind, when he plays the Rufus, it's basically Justin or Ricky.
Right.
Or Brent, and Brent is really good too.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's
It's like all the Rufus players that exist, the few that exist are all super good with the character.
Pretty much. I saw, I think, only a couple things. So I saw the one that I talked about before, but I also saw Chris King play against K-Brad.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Super close. There were some drops here and there that ended up being very important, but it was very close and really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, watching Snake Eyes and Justin play each other, Rufus Zangief feels like a 5-5 match. I think it's even.
It looks pretty even.
I think it's gotten to a point it's even. But Snake Eyes is just, he's ridiculous. I mean, he just left RG.
Right.
So he's a free agent again.
Right.
And dude, like, someone's got to pick up this guy, dude.
I definitely.
Well, here, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Mean Saltine obviously didn't work out for us as a Zangief player, right? Maybe we should sponsor Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Get a better Zangief player than
That's true.
Ben.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a better Zangief player.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. On the team already.
Yeah, it's already on.
And
the team.
I've been thinking about learning Zangief, so I'm probably already better. Just
we already
by
got
default.
two.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, you know what we should totally do? We should totally like get Ben and Snake Eyes, and just like have all Zangief team.
Yeah, dude, we'll get like Aqua Silk on there.
Dude, that'd be too funny.
Hilarious.
But no, I mean, someone's got to pick up Snake Eyes because he's not going anywhere anytime
Absolutely.
soon. He's so solid. Like his game is just so solid.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Very patient. Very smart. So also, in Hong Kong, there was the Hong Kong Esports Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament. This was attended by a bunch of really good players too.
And was this a qualifier as well for Capcom Pro Tour?
Yeah.
It was, right?
It was.
I'm not a qualifier. It was a ranking tournament where they get points for it.
That's correct. It was a ranking event.
Okay, cool. And a lot of strong players were there. Like, I hadn't even heard about this event. I think it was one of the ones that was added very recently. Yeah. But there were definitely a lot of good players there, as you'll see if you want to get through the top 8 on that one as well.
Let's do it, yeah. Starting right at the top was Daigo Umehara, Evil Ryu. Pretty solid start. RB got second place with Hugo, Rolento, and Guy.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, dude, it's team final fight. I didn't... Hugo, Rolento, and Guy. Yeah, I mean, he has like 3 more characters he could have put on that team, actually, but still, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I'm surprised to see that he could make it that far with that character. Talking about Rolento.
Damn.
Also sucks.
So, do you think any of the 5 new characters is good?
In my opinion, the only 2, well, I shouldn't say that, but I think that the best 2 are DiCaprio and Hugo. And I don't think either one of them is like beyond mid-tier, probably.
Okay.
I know some people think that Poison is much better than that. I haven't really seen it. At least. Maybe that's the case. It's early, obviously, but that's my take so far. Okay.
Well, dude, I mean, like, on Twitter, like, I know I talked with Pat the Flip about it, but we've been, like, talking about maybe trying to get round tables of people talking. Yeah. We should get a bunch of people and just, like, talk about the 5 new characters and just where cool. Ultra is or something like that. I think that would be super cool. So
let's do that. That sounds like a blast.
Cool.
Yeah. Third place was Dako with Cammy and Evil Ryu. Fourth place, Human Bomb with Sakura and Poison. Fifth places were Belle with Chun-Li and Bun Bun Fuerte.
Ooh.
Then Terry, 7th place with Honda, and Sheep, 7th place with M. Bison.
Dude, that's a lot of characters that you wouldn't have expected to get up there, right? I mean, Bison, Fuerte, E. Honda. That's really... Hugo, obviously, because RB was playing a lot of Hugo. Yeah. So that's actually really cool. I mean, we're still early in the game, so obviously it's still going to be pretty crazy. But it's good to see a really good character variety, especially with characters like Honda, who, you know, some people who will remain nameless say he's just completely worthless now, despite getting into like top 32.
I think he's pretty weak myself also.
No, I know. I don't think he's that good.
I think of those characters, the one that I'm, you know, kind of surprised to see people actually doing it with, but at the same time I'm not surprised, is El Fuerte. Because I really think that he's one of the most improved characters in Street Fighter 4. I think he got a lot better.
Well, we talked about this, I think it was last week. He literally gained a second half of a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he was before, let me mix you up. Now, all of a sudden, he has this kind of zony, footsie, quesadilla bomb game, which he's just never had before. Right. So he just fleshed out completely. So. Totally.
So I would expect to see him a little bit more often. But notice that, once again, there's a tournament of a weekend of some big tournaments. Yun, not a very good showing. So Yun, Vicious got 5th place with Yun.
And I did see a lot of Vicious's matches. He did better with Rufus than he did with Yun a lot of the time.
Is that so?
Yeah, he switched to Rufus. I distinctly remember 1 or 2 matches where he played Yun, lost, switched to Rufus, and won 2 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're all wrong about this character.
Who knows?
We'll see, I guess.
Who knows?
See how it plays out.
Yeah.
Certainly interesting to see the game evolve. You mentioned still early. It's only been a couple of months.
And also, super buffed top tier Rose isn't top 8 in any of these
God.
tournaments,
How
right?
did she not win these things for free?
I know, right? Dude.
Now, it seems like there's still lots of character variety. Obviously there was before in AE 2012, and it has been the same in Ultra.
So it's not too bad so far, actually. No. It's been pretty good, so yeah.
Definitely agree with that. So, like you said, they were Capcom ranking events, Pro Tour ranking events, which means that I don't think Daigo didn't qualify because of this. But he got points that will kind of help him out with qualifying for the Capcom Cup later this year.
I don't know if they actually have worked this weekend's rankings into the on-site webpage.
But this is interesting to go over because I don't think that we've actually gone over it before.
Yeah.
So 16 players make it into the Capcom Cup.
Right.
And they do it by qualifying at events where if they win, if you win EVO, you qualify automatically, for example. At some other tournaments too. But other than that, you qualify based on points.
Right, and I saw a conversation between Justin and somebody else. I think there's only 6 players who qualify by points. And there's only certain premier events so far, so there's a few holes left that are yet to be plugged, and I'm not sure how they're going to do that, if they're planning to add more premier events, because obviously there's some big events coming up. I know Shadaloo Showdown's coming up pretty soon, right? That's a pretty big event. Be interesting to see if that got added on to the premier, right? And the West Coast Warzone's coming back, right? There's a lot of little extra things here and there, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I mean, without it right now, currently, obviously, EVO gives you 6 times more points than anything else, right? So Luffy is on top right now with 1,200 points. Right. And he's won a lot of Europe. He's done well in a lot of Europe events, so that all added together. But he's automatically qualified. So second is Infiltration, who's also automatically qualified with 600 points. Bonchan is third because of EVO again, because he got second at EVO, so he's at 536. So he's the first person to qualify by points. Yeah,
he hasn't actually won a qualifier.
So then Ryan Hart is next with about 526 points, but he's auto-qualified.
Right.
PR Balrog at 498 points, but he auto-qualified from NCR. So if you guys remember, Ryan Hart was from final round. So then 6th place now is Justin Wong.
Right.
So Justin Wong is the second highest person going in just through points.
Right.
Through pure points. He has 482. Ricky Ortiz is 438 and 7th place, because he's just been doing well at all the tournaments.
Yeah,
Momochi
hasn't won a qualifier.
Yeah, Momochi is in 8th place with 420 points, but he's qualified already because he won Southeast Asia Major.
Yeah, and wait, he didn't win Did he win CEO?
Second place.
Second place at CEO.
CEO. Infiltration qualified at
You're right.
CEO.
Yeah, I guess I would have thought that he'd have more points based on those 2 tournaments, but
yeah, that's a good
he got
call,
top 8 at EVO too, right?
Yeah, you're right. Huh.
Kind of surprising, but
okay. So Fudo is in 9th with 352. K-Brad in 10th with 312 points. Again, you guys can check this all out. It's at capcomprotour.com/standings. So we've had 5 people who auto-qualified. So K-Brad in 10th place. If there's 6 people who are going in by points, K-Brad would be 5th. And then Breno Fighters from Brazil would be the 6th one with 260 points.
But just round out the top 16 here.
So right under them would be Tokido at 224 points. Snake Eyes with 200 points. Yeah, I know, dude. He's got to get in there. Valmaster, the awesome Chun-Li. In fact, after Luffy went back to Europe, they had a set. And I saw part of that, which was actually kind of cool.
For sure.
With 162 points. Also from Brazil, Choo-Choo with 145 points. And then Kazunoko rounding it out with 138 points.
Once again, the unplayer. Not doing that.
It's fair, yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Like you said, it's gonna change certainly before Capcom Cup.
Oh, yeah, and besides, this might not have the weekend's events in here, so obviously Snake Eyes is going to jump up significantly, right? Justin will jump up some more. Chris G will jump up some more. Daigo will jump up a pretty good chunk, but I mean, Daigo's not really much in here.
Wait, is he not in there?
No, he's not in the top 16. No, He's where is Daigo? Because he hasn't gone to a lot of tournaments.
Control F Daigo. Yeah, he might not.
You
even
know,
be on
I don't even think he's on here. I mean,
he's not. Yeah.
Some of the names are really interesting. Like I know Shen is pretty. Yeah, see, Shen's not on this list either.
Wow, and that's top what?
This is top
50. Wow,
yeah.
They're not on top 50. Well, I imagine that'll change after this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
At least for Daigo.
Okay.
Okay, anything else to talk about with these things?
Events? Not that I can think of, no.
Okie doke. Well, let's take another break.
Okay.
And we'll talk about more, I'm not sure, when we get back.
All right.
Hey, welcome back to the Tuesday show. I'm Ultra David James.
Yep. How's everybody going?
So let's talk now about upcoming events, things that have not yet happened.
Yes, and some of these have been known for a little bit. Some of these are brand new to us.
Yeah.
But one of them events that I've been talking about a lot today is the Strongstyle tournament that's going to be happening up in Northern California. I guess it's being mostly helmed by Bronson Tran.
Yeah, I think so.
AKA Insanely, AKA second place at EVO last year in Tekken. But what they're doing is they're actually kind of they're trying to. I don't know if it's an invitational necessary. I think anyone is allowed to enter, but
I think so, yeah.
There's a lot of strong Tekken players making it out to this event. So this is probably going to be the most premier Tekken event in quite some time, because we've talked about it before. Tekken doesn't really consider EVO their major like grand slam kind of thing, right?
I mean, some of the best players, even in the U.S., just this past year were there for the first time, and then this year also only one Korean player made it. A bunch of other players from East Asia did not.
Right.
So.
They've largely considered Final Round a lot of the times to be one of their premier events. But it sounds like this event here is going to be like the killer Tekken event. So
already they've confirmed some. Yeah, obviously top NorCal, SoCal players are coming, but people from the East Coast of the U.S. are coming. So they have some Japanese players already in attendance, already announced, and it's still a couple of months away. So we'll see what ends up
So
happening.
that's going to be September 27th through the 29th.
Yes.
So I'm
27 and 28th.
So 28th, right? Interesting system that they're coming up with here.
Yeah.
This event is not going to be streamed.
Correct.
This is an unstreamed event.
Yes.
So basically they're saying if you want to experience it live, you got to go to the event. However, what they are planning to do, and they're not even going to charge for this.
Yeah.
They're going to do post-production work. They're going to record every match and pick out the best ones, which I'm assuming by best ones, I don't even think they mean like 25% or 50%. I think they mean like a huge chunk
lot,
of
right?
them.
That's the impression I get too.
And they're going to break them all down. Like, talk about the strategy, talk about why someone won, how this one happened. I think they're also going to try very hard to tell the story of the players, how they got there, and what their past history and everything like that.
I think they're going to be doing interviews and all sorts of interesting stuff.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. I know a lot of people probably that follow me on Twitter today saw that, I've had little issues because I think it's a mistake not to stream the event.
Right, so this is the biggest point about the event. It sounds like it'll be a great event regardless.
Right.
But the kind of point of contention about it is the idea of it not being live streamed, but instead recorded and put on YouTube later as a series of well-produced videos.
Right.
That's it's a different kind of thing that has been happening for a while. That used to be sort of what happened with EVO. I mean, there wasn't really that production for the most part. There was like somebody would like walk around with a camera and do interviews, right? That was it. That was it. But other than that, it was basically just the matches, and there wasn't really even commentary.
Right.
So you had to wait some months for that DVD to come out. So that, I think when people are thinking about Strongstyle, that's kind of the analogy that people are making so far.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why, just so people know, like, the reason why I was concerned about it, honestly, is just that back then we didn't have any choice.
Yeah, right.
So, one, we didn't have any choice. Two, like, dude, there's been so many events, and how many times have we sat here and been like, dude, this event had these great matches. I need to go back and watch the archives. Yes. I need to go back. Dude, I never go back to watch the archives.
Really? I usually do.
I almost never have time. I'm always busy, and so I never have time to
Okay.
go back to watch the archives. That's what I'm kind of scared about, is that back then, if you didn't buy the Evo DVDs, you didn't watch footage. I mean, that's just the way it worked.
You found out, you saw the post on SRK, or you were in IRC, that was it.
Your stream was Arlieth on
Yeah.
IRC typing, "Oh my god, Daigo just parried everything," right?
Fact.
And so you had to buy the DVDs because that's the only way you see it. So obviously, what's different about this one though is that they are going to do a bunch of analysis. They're going to do a bunch of stuff that they didn't do previously, and there's a lot of better editing technology that we have, and we have a better idea of how to present things. So, I'm really curious to see how that's going to go. I just don't understand why that has to take place in lieu of a stream. Like, I feel like you could do both. You could stream it and then post-production it, because then it would be... Then you could remember good matches, and then they can point out... Kind of like how we analyze things. Like, you always analyze things on Level 3 Focus on Mondays. You're always like, this is really interesting how they did this. Like, it's kind of good, because then people get to see the match and then reflect on it, and then you get to analyze it. So...
Well, I guess they might be thinking that they don't want that footage out there already. You know what I mean? Like, they want the first time... They want it to be the case, this is what I'm thinking anyway, is that they want it to be the case that the first and only time that you get to see these matches is on the things that they've worked hard on.
Right.
And not in however it shows up on stream, or, many, of course, the matches would not be on stream, just that's how it works at big tournaments, right? A lot of stuff does not happen on stream. So that's my guess about what they're thinking. They want to make sure that the first time you see the stuff, it's the best. It's already, that, and maybe they don't want to have CPM effectively taken from the ultimate videos by a previous stream or other YouTube uploaded videos, because they've already said that they don't want anything recorded. It's not like there won't just be a stream. There won't be other people recording stuff there. It'll just be, I think iPlayWinner's working with them on it. iPlayWinner recording it, and then iPlayWinner, led by people who I have a lot of respect for when it comes to production value. Absolutely. They tend to do a great job of stepping up the production value. They're going to be the ones working on it. So I like it. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's great to have something different and something new. Especially when it comes to a game like Tekken that hasn't been getting, it hasn't been the same kind of popularity that it used to be. Okay, it's definitely fallen off, and I think a lot of that is because people don't really know what's going on a lot of the times, and part of that is on people's kind of faults for not knowing what's going on. But the other part of it is that it's kind of difficult to get into. It's intimidating. Yeah. When you pick up a game and you see, how it's 60 characters and they each have 100 moves, that can be very intimidating. And so a lot of people don't put in the time. So I'm interested to see how the experience of watching a top Tekken match goes when you have somebody introducing to you what's going to happen, or maybe not the result, but kind of what to look out for. Right. Okay. Introducing the players to you, and then while it's happening, explaining what's going on in a way that maybe you wouldn't be able to do so much if it were a live event. Because I really feel like that's an issue for Tekken, is that in a fast live stream where you don't have that much time to explain things all the time, that people will kind of turn off. They won't really be sucked in by what's going on. So I'm really interested to see how that works out for Tekken. I'm interested to see how it works out just in general, how the idea of it goes, whether it'll be a successful kind of thing for iPlayWinner, not just financially, but in terms of its perception.
They're not even trying to make money off of this. They've already stated that they're planning to lose money on this. So. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because you said that you're interested because it's Tekken. I'm worried because it's Tekken.
Really?
Yeah, that's the number one. Like, if someone was doing this for Street Fighter, I would 100% be behind it. I would be behind Marvel doing this because everybody wants to watch those games already. And so if you have this match, and we'll get into this once we get into the Canada situation, if you have this match with like Daigo, who's super popular, with Justin and Snake Eyes, you want to see Snake Eyes go up against Daigo. People like know these games already. We had 2,000 people playing Street Fighter, right? So you can kind of do something like this, I think, for the game. People will actively go out of their way to go and try to find these videos once they get out there.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Tekken has a large enough audience for this kind of a situation. I feel like the only people then you're making this for are for Tekken fans already. You're not going to suck in any new casual people because they're not going to run into it incidentally. They have to go out for it.
Well, it would be the same kind of case when it comes to watching it live, right?
Not really, because there's a lot of people who are always just browsing Twitch for stuff to watch. And if you say, like, here's all the greatest players of Tekken, and you're like, I'm really curious to see what like the best Tekken looks like. It's like channel surfing, right? People still do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing to me, honestly, is like, let's take a look at Blaze Blue at EVO. Everybody was hype about that event. Everybody thought that was an event.
Yes.
Nobody knew what the hell was going on in that game. No, but I was watching that, and I don't know what anything Azrael does.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I was just
okay.
I don't know what he does.
Okay.
But it was so hyped to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's because it was live. You had that passion, and then you had guys like Shia Plus and Dacid Bro on commentary doing such a fantastic job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it kind of produced, like, think about if we knew that Galileo was going to make the comeback ahead of time, and they released it on video. Then you would just watch to see if he did it.
Right.
But the fact that it happened live, and we got to see the emotion there in real time, now all of a sudden everyone's like, I want to play Blaze Blue, you know? And that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about. So, yes, so let me just finish by saying I hope I'm wrong. I want to be proven wrong, and in fact, if you don't like me, then go out and watch the hell out of these Tekken videos so you can shut me up. I mean, I want to be wrong on this one. I'm scared.
Okay.
I'm scared, so.
Well, I certainly agree that it would be a different kind of interest than a live event. Because you know the results. And the downside for the production is that it's going to be a couple months between when it's recorded and when it's ultimately put out. And during that time, you know, maybe interest will wane. But and certainly when you watch it, you're going to know if you want to look it up, I guess. Who ended up where, and you can find out who won and whatever, presumably. But I don't think that means that it doesn't have interest. It just is a different kind.
Yeah.
So rather than being that kind of heart pumping interest, it's going to be more like a kind of very interesting and explanatory kind of interest. So like this is, you know, all everything about this player. How this character works, the matchup you're going to be seeing, how it plays out, all that kind of in-depth analysis. Personally, I'm very much looking forward to it because, you know, I spent some time with Tag 2, but not a lot.
Right.
I didn't really stick with the game, and so I know that I don't know a lot about the game.
Right.
And I'm very, but that's not to say I'm not interested in it. I just didn't stick with it because there were other games that I would rather play.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the game a lot. It's just it wasn't. You know, I was playing Street Fighter more and so forth. So I'm really interested to see the videos because I want to know stuff.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I'm interested in it in that way. I wouldn't consider myself a big Tekken head. I'm not. But I'm still really interested in the idea of it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think that fits an invitational more than a tournament of the best Tekken players ever gathered into one building. You know what I mean? I would have liked to have an invitation. There was that one Third Strike video where they invited all these Japanese players and they released it on a DVD. It wasn't a tournament. It was just they just recorded a bunch of really hype matches. That I'm totally down with. You know what I mean? But I'm sad because this is a tournament for Tekken that I feel like maybe has never happened before. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there has been other epic Tekken tournaments as hype as this one. I know there have been. So, you know, that's the part that makes me sad because I would have loved to have watched this live and see how it looks, you know, at the time. But again, just so people understand, it's not going to be archives. This is literally they're going to break down the matches.
Right.
pause. I'm guessing they're gonna do slow motion analyzing.
That'd be fun.
That's what it sounds like to me, because they said that they're gonna analyze it in ways that fighting games have never been analyzed before. So
that sounds awesome.
There's a lot more than just archives. So
don't be a lot of work on
don't just sit here and go, James was right, I'm not gonna support that. No, 100% go support it. Go support it. And go learn Tekken, because it's a worthy game to be learned. So.
Well, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
By the way, Bloodhawk says that it'll have a hard cap of 160 players, 16-person round-robin pools, then a 32-person bracket after that.
Okay.
So
cool. Nice. That sounds awesome. Then. Okay.
So anyway, that's not the only event that we wanted to talk about coming up. There's also the Masters series.
Yes. And this is the return, sort of Canada Cup, because Lapchi is not going to be doing the Canada Cup tournaments anymore. Basically, he's taking, it seems like, the concept that he had behind the team tournaments and turn it into an event. So he's doing the Master Series, which is going to take place in November, I believe it is.
It's, sorry, I don't have the date. No, I believe it's November 7th through 9th, but...
Okay.
I'll find it while you're talking about it.
But yeah, so basically what it is all the previous winners of Canada Cups are getting invited here, and then they are also going to get... they're going to have some more qualifiers on Friday. For the event. And is it going to be an 8-man thing? Or
it will be 8, yeah. So, like you said, for the 4 former Canada Cup champions, and also then 4 spots earned through seeding events. And by the way, I just wanted to confirm it is November 7th through 9th.
So it's basically going to be, is it round robin format, or how is it going to be done?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, apologies, we didn't get all the details here.
That happens here.
But it is going to take place in Calgary, Alberta, and there's definitely something about the stream.
Invitational round robin.
So it's going to be an invitational round robin. I don't know if they're going to stretch it across Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Actually, yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday, November 8th, cycle 1 through 4 of the Masters Series. Then 5 through 7 are Sunday, November 9th.
I guess that makes sense, because 8 players round robin is a lot. That's 64 matches, right? And they're probably going to stream 100% of the matches. So
that would make sense.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about this event here is that Lapchi, again, is trying something different.
Yeah.
And Friday is going to be a standard stream that everybody can watch and such, Saturday and Sunday is going to be a pay-per-view only event. So they're kind of going the route of the Topanga League.
Right.
So it's going to be $14.95 to watch the matches, I think, for both days, right? You just subscribe $14.95 for the whole weekend, I would imagine.
Well, I'm not sure about that, actually, because it does say pay-per-view only $14.95 USD each of those days, but I'm not sure if that just it's like inartfully phrased or what.
Right. So this,
in any case, it'll be pay-per-view. It's not for a few months. So
right. He's kicking it up
details further
from the $8.95 to the $14.95 now. But it should be noted that grand prize is $10,000. So first place. So there's a prize pool of $20,000.
That's gigantic.
Out of this, and this, I'm sure this is mostly coming out of Lapchi's pocket too.
I would think so. So first place is $10K. Second place $4,000. Third place $2,500. Fourth place $1,000. Fifth and sixth get $750, and seventh and eighth both get $500. So everybody who plays gets money, which is great. Right.
And I mean, this is even after Lapchi had some of his money stolen from his hotel room at Evo too. So still willing to dish out all this money for this event. But I don't know. It's like I said. I think it'll work more because it's Street Fighter again. I think Street Fighter and Marvel are the games that you can kind of do these experiments with. So I'm curious to see how this is going to work. This is going to tell us a lot. The price point is, you guys also remember, so one of the biggest complaints about the $8.95 stuff was the people who paid $8.95 didn't get ads on Twitch.
Yeah.
So they literally watched the two of us eat.
Right.
Like, we didn't have a lot to do during the breaks, and we didn't have a chance to do a lot of analysis. It was the first time Twitch had ever done a pay-per-view kind of stream. So obviously it was...
There were some hiccups, right? I mean, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So hopefully, I mean, I don't know if you're going to get anything else from the $14.95, if you get t-shirts or whatever like that, but hopefully they'll come up with some stuff that can help, you know.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a few months off, but it was just announced today. Right, it was earlier today, literally. I think that it was announced.
Yeah,
right?
I guess you're. No, it was like last night.
Was it last night?
Or was it this
In any
morning?
case, it was just announced.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm sure that there'll be more info coming. I just want to confirm, by the way, it's $14.95 for the weekend.
Okay,
Not per day.
Okay, so it is one payment of $14.95 for Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, the closest parallel, like you said before, is Topanga League, which is, I think, $30 for the whole thing.
Yeah, but
maybe it's $40.
How many matches is
right,
that?
so it's a lot of matches. There are definitely more, and it's spread out over a larger period of time. It's over a period of a week or two or something like that.
Oh yeah, and this one is best of 7 as well, right? I think they're actually playing all the way to 7.
Well,
yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but
yes, first to 7 format,
yeah, first
with
to 7
no character
format.
locks. In the event that a player has mathematically won before the 7th cycle of the round robin, all matches will still be played to determine the placing of remaining players. So in any case, it'll be 7.
Yeah, so
games.
all of them will play. So that's going to be a lot of Street Fighter.
It will be.
Yeah, from
It
8
absolutely
really
will
strong
be.
players. So, yeah, I mean, again, it sounds kind of weird that I was a little against Strongstyle trying something different, and I'm kind of in favor of Lapchi doing something here. But like I said, mostly I'm sad about Strongstyle because it was Tekken. You know, I don't know if it has quite the clout to be able to pull something like that off. But if it, like I said, if it was Marvel or Street Fighter, I would have been.
It's interesting. I feel totally the opposite.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. That's why when you said that, you're like, I like it because it's Tekken. I was like, interesting. Huh. So yeah.
I mean, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. In any case, I think this is a great idea. I think this is a very interesting idea. I'm very interested to see how many people will support it. I know Topanga League has some people complaining about it, but at the same time, they do tend to get enough support that it kind of makes sense for themselves.
Right.
So I certainly hope that happens for this case. It's going to be really interesting stuff. I mean, the people who have won Canada Cups previously are like really good players, so it's,
yeah.
You know, they're going to be good people there.
So the interesting thing to me also is that Lapchi is in a position that he can experiment.
Yeah.
So this will be, just from a TO perspective, a really interesting study on price point.
Yeah.
Finding out if $14.95 is too much, or maybe it does way better than we thought it was going to. You know, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
I really hope that once it does happen, after it happens, that they don't keep all that info close to the chest.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes with pay-per-view events. And we haven't really had too many of those in the FGC, but when we have, sometimes that's been kind of kept sort of a secret. So I hope that they let people know how it goes.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
Same
we all
here,
kind of
same
have,
here.
you know, if it's an experiment, I want the results.
Yeah, for sure.
To be public.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we'll see. So
Okay. So anything else you want to mention about events or anything like that, or?
I don't think so.
Okay. So do you want to take a quick break and then we'll be right back?
Let's take a quick break. We'll talk about nonsense after this.
Okay.